Okay, good morning, everybody. So, you guys saw we had some pretty substantial weather come through last night. A lot of rain, even some hail for a little bit, but lots of rain, lots of wind. Wanted to come out here this morning again, check on the tracks to see how they did through the weather event. Just kind of give you a little bit of a perspective here. I do have this maple tree that's shading part of the tracks on there, but it doesn't provide a whole lot of cover, especially right now while it's just budding leaves. So there's not a whole lot in terms of protecting these tracks. But at first glance, whenever I come around the corner and take a look, I can still see, I'm trying to put my finger, you can still see some of the shine from here, right? You can still see the different coloring, the compression is still laying the grass down on both those first two tracks. It's a little more prominent on the camera on this first track than it is the second one, but from my perspective, I can see it really, really well. But so from all the way back here, I still have a little bit of that shine. And these are 2-day-old track. These were made on Saturday morning. The ones up above up here were made on Sunday morning. So to give you guys a little bit of perspective, but we can still see where the grass is laid down really, really well on this track. It definitely looks different than everything else around it. Less and less prominent though. Every day it looks like it's just a little bit less prominent. So I can see this one right here pretty well. This one right here, whenever I get on top of it, it doesn't look as good as it did a couple days ago. That one is still looking really good whenever I look on top of it. This one right here, let's get down here and take a look at it a little bit. This should be our right. So the track is right here is where the track is. So we still have a good heel, still have a good toe, but definitely a lot of stuff sticking up. This one right here is a left, and I can still see a bit of an outline, but it's definitely popping up, I think. And by the end of the day, if we get some sun, that one's going to go away. All right, so these are the day-old tracks at this point. These were laid yesterday, about 24 hours after I laid the other tracks. So different, a little bit different in terms of the grass. It's a little bit different type of grass. These first two, we have a right here and a left right here, are not near as prominent as they were yesterday. The grass that was in there has already kind of sprung back up. This is a little bit denser grass and a little bit of a different texture to it. So it's popped back up already. Not that we can't see those tracks, especially whenever I come back here. I can see this first track fairly well from back here, just from the shape and the instep. That one's fairly prominent. This one right here is a little bit tougher, just because where I stepped in it, there wasn't as much grass, it's more of the leaf litter, but I can still see some of the compression down there where the toe was. I can still see some of the compression where the toe was and the heel, so I mean that's pretty clear from back here. Probably pretty tough to see on camera. This one right here is probably the best looking track out of all of them, but even still, it's popped up fairly well. But we have a heel back here to a toe up here, so heel here to toe here. A lot of grass has popped back up, but I still see some compression, still see some twisting in there, still see some bends. There's still quite a bit of evidence left in that track, but it's crazy how much difference, a day makes. And I think especially with this, the wind was probably the biggest contributing factor because it was blowing pretty hard. So I mean, it was disturbing a lot of the grass and it was pushing a lot of it back up. So for this over here to be still kind of stuck down after 2 days, I'm pretty impressed. This right here is about what I expected to see one day after the weather event we got like we did yesterday. Sunshine, there was a little bit of sun yesterday, not a whole lot, more clouds than sun, but there was a little bit of a chance for the sunlight to hit the grass where it would pop up a little bit more on its own at that point, but not a whole lot. So yeah, so I wanted to round out kind of this 3-video series with this video this morning. We're starting the work week this week, so what I'll probably do is I'll probably start laying some side-by-side comparisons throughout the week. Like I'll lay one track and then I'll do like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Probably do, and then we'll kind of do like a snapshot at like the end of the week and see kind of what the progression looks like. So I'm gonna go find a good spot on the lawn out here that hasn't been too disturbed, that I can get a good consistent 5 tracks out of, that will show up on the camera well. That's the other challenge, is finding stuff that shows up on the camera well. So anyway, there you go. Happy Monday and happy searching. Thanks, appreciate it.